Happy Tuesday. We are back with a 6-game NBA slate. Let's talk some basketball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven, and we're back to talk some NBA. That's right, after taking Monday off and then the weekend, I'm ready to get back into it. Like I said, just a small 6-game slate. The weekend kind of been like how the first couple weeks of the season have been, just up and down. We'll recap the whole entire weekend. I'll do it quickly, though, in just a little bit. But I thought we were just about to close out a 3-0 sweep on Monday, head into Tuesday feeling good. And the Blazers lose to a bunch of backups. It wasn't backups, but a bunch of just average dudes at home. I don't even know what to say. But anyways, we'll go over that in the recap in just a bit. As you guys know, any graphics you see in this video are from OUTLIER, the best betting research tool on the market today. Use this every single day. If you guys want to try it out, just click the link below. You get a 7-day free trial. So let's get it rolling with a little dad joke. It's been a while. So here we go. I told my friend that he has a deep-rooted fear of marriage. Do you know the symptoms? He said, I can't say I do. I said, yeah, that's one of them. In this video, we are going to recap that weekend, and then we are back into some research help. We're going to talk defenses versus the shooting guard position. Now, during the year, we're going to do point guards on Monday, shooting guards Tuesday, and then with small forwards, power forwards, and up to centers on Friday. And then on Wednesday, we're also going to introduce what we do once a week, the G's of threes, hot three-point shooters with matchups, things like that. So we'll have that along with the small forward position tomorrow. But after that, we're going to talk some best bets and then finish it up with the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Come join this great community we have here. I'm ready to get it rolling. I'm ready to turn this around. Enough of this early 2 weeks in the NBA. Things are crazy. I'm not going to lie. I mean, props are up and down, but I'm ready for a hot streak. So let's get it rolling, and let's start with the recap. All right, here is the weekend recap. Now, I wrote this up as, you know what, it's going to be 7-7. We're going to be down like, 0.07 units or whatever it is. And because the Blazers just choked, we'll just start right there with Monday because it's the most recent. I thought we had a 3-0 sweep. It was beautiful. I needed it. AJ Green over 8.5 points. Even though he had 3 fouls in 6 minutes and didn't play in the first half, still got the job done. Steven Adams over 6.5 rebounds, ended with 9 or 10. Easy winner there. Blazers, money line. Guys, there was no Luka. There was no Austin Reeves. There was no LeBron James. The Blazers were healthy. They were at home. And they lost by 8 to the Lakers. How can you trust anything in the NBA right now when you see that? That is just mind-boggling to me. Anyways, back to Friday real quick. It was 2-4. It's terrible. It's the day that started our weekend. The one that hurt me, obviously you see there, Evan Mobley over 3.5 assists. He had 13 potential assists, guys. I will bet that 101 out of 100 times. If I know a guy's having 13 potential assists, he couldn't get 4. Teammates didn't help him out. Obviously, the bad read there on the under in the Knicks-Bulls game, that was just flew over. I think it flew over, decent amount at least. Royce O'Neal, 1 bucket away. Siakam just didn't rebound after the first quarter. So we did hit the alts parlay and Holiday over 26.5 PRAs, which that was sweaty. We got lucky there. There was a stat correction, actually, that helped us. And then Saturday, I feel like we're going to get a 3-0 day, hit the nice 1-unit moneyline parlay, hit AJ Green at plus 120. And then McDaniels and Levine all points. McDaniels did not want to shoot much. He hit a 3 to get to 14 points. I needed 15 from him, and we cashed. 3-0 sweep. He hits 3, gets to 14, 4 minutes left in the game. Then he gets his 6th foul, fouls out the next possession. Gotta love it. Sunday, 0-2, brutal. Keontae George hooked me, 7.5 assists. Again, some of these reads are here. Mikal Bridges decided to have almost 10 assists and not shoot much and ended with 15 PR. He did nothing offensively. Didn't want to shoot at all. And then, like I said, Monday, 2 2-in-1 day. Should have been 3-0 sweep, but, we'll take that. So we had 2 winning days, 2 losing days. Just kind of how the season's been going. Again, we're going to ramp up to a unit here once I really feel comfortable on some of these plays. But down 4.43 units, it's super early. Like I said, we won about 30 units last year, and I'm confident we'll turn it around. But, man, has it been frustrating, that's for sure. So that's what we got for the weekend bets recap. Now, let's talk the shooting guard position. All right, here it is. We are back with some research help for you guys to make your own decisions. Now, what we do is, like I said, defenses versus a certain position every single day of the week. Point guards on Monday, all the way to centers on Friday. I'm just going to stick with it. It's Tuesday. We're going to start with the shooting guard position. We'll have G's of threes against the spread numbers and things like that once a week here and there. And like I said, we'll have those hot shooters tomorrow. But here we go. Defenses giving up the most points to the shooting guard position. Now, I'm going to say this. I use Fantasy Pros. Sometimes Fantasy Pros and hashtag basketball, which is another good website to use, they're a little different. Why? Because it depends on what you think that player is on a position, and it's somewhat positionless basketball, a little, at least more nowadays than it was. So, take that for what it is. This should be a part of your handicap. And some of these numbers you see, well, maybe it's because someone was out or things like that. So you still want to look into it. But again, these have been pretty successful if you look at matchups. We don't have a ton of matchups here today, but if they are in green, that team or player is playing today just to help you guys out as well. But the Kings giving up the most points to shooting guard position at 27.08. Grizzlies, Nets, Jazz, but the teams playing today: Sixers, Pelicans, Hawks, and Clippers. And then what I do on the right side is I give you the top 10 shooting guards, most points per game. Again, some of this is me trying to make a decision. Is that guy really a shooting guard? Sometimes he plays point guard. Sometimes he's small forward, things like that. But take it for what it is. There's only 2 guys playing today, but you can use this obviously throughout the week. RJ Barrett, 20.4 points per game. And Edgecombe, the rookie for the Sixers, averaging 20.3 points per game. But you see Austin Reeves up there. One of those things I talked about. His number's a little high because, again, a few games were without Luka, and he went absolutely crazy. So is he a 31 points per game guy? Not normally when Luka's healthy and all that. So then we got Matherin, who right now is healthy. He's week to week. He might come back this week. I'm not sure. Still added him on here. Levine's having a great year. Anthony Edwards, who's coming back as well. But that's what we got for the points. Now, these are all last 30 days. So right now it's just the season year to date because that's how long deep into it we are. But that's points. Let's move on to the rebounds now. We got one matchup. We got the Magic giving up the 9th most rebounds to shooting guards, facing Dyson Daniels of the Atlanta Hawks, 5.7 rebounds per game from him. But other than that, you see the Celtics up there giving up the most rebounds to the shooting guard position. The Hawks, Bucks, and Raptors are the 3 teams playing today. Then you go over there on the shooting guard position. I mean, even a guy like Isaiah Cotton Eye Joe, who's I think actually sick right now. I don't know if he's playing tomorrow or later today, but 5.5 rebounds per game. Obviously not a starter or anything like that, but Edgecombe, 5 rebounds per game. B-Pods, 4.7. You see Norman Powell up there for the Heat, who's been battling injury, but played well when he's out there, 7.3 rebounds per game. So that's what we got for the rebounds. Now let's take a look at the assists. And no matchups here, but again, we got the Nets giving up the most assists. Hornets, 6.39. Over there on the right side, Austin Reeves, again, 9.3. He's not a 9.3 assist guy, but that's what he has because he played, 3 games or something without Luka, and he had just a ton of them. But Mikal Bridges, like I said, he just had like 8 or 9 last game. Quentin Grimes, again, these are 2 guys on the same team. Quentin Grimes, Edgecombe. I mean, Edgecombe is the starting shooting guard. Grimes comes in here, handles the ball, also a shooting guard type. So, you guys take that for what it is. Grayson Allen, though, 5 assists. You see Desmond Bane, AJ Mitchell, who's been playing more with injuries, so we'll see how that goes. But then RJ Barrett, 3.4 assists. So now that's what we got for the good matchups for shooting guards. Now, what we like to do is also give you the worst matchups for these positions because you know what? You can win on some unders as well. So these are the toughest shooting guard matchups in the last 30 days. You see the Warriors giving up the fewest points per game to the shooting guard position. They have 14.4. Raptors playing today, 18.97. But Warriors and Blazers up there by quite a bit, 14 and 15. All the rest are 19 or about and more. And then fewest rebounds, you see the Suns there giving up the fewest. Nets, down to the Jazz. Not a huge difference from 1 to 10 there. And then the Suns again. How about the fewest assists given up to the shooting guard position? Just 2.83. Bucks, Warriors playing today. You got Pistons and Thunder rounding out the top 5. So we're going to give this out along with other stats throughout the year. Again, we want to try to give you as much info as we can, but 6-game slate, not a ton of matchups here. So that's what we got for the shooting guard position. Now it is time for the best bets. All right, before we continue, we got to talk about our new friends. That's right, NOVIG. It is a social sports book. Some of you guys already know about it. It's helpful, especially in states that don't allow sports gambling on the regular sports books. But it's a sweepstake model type sports book. You can receive NOVIG coin currency immediately. It's America's #1 sports prediction market right now. Right now, you can download the app and sign up using the link below. I put it in the pinned comment to help you guys. You spend $5 and you get $50. It's that simple. It's a great promo that to get started on NOVIG. It's available in 42 states as well. So I think it's a great time to take advantage of this promo. Click the link below to sign up. But of course, you must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, back to the bets. All right, this first one takes us out to Chicago, where the Bulls host the 76ers. Bulls -1.5. Total in this one, 238.5. We got a game here of 2 teams playing surprisingly well to start the year, to be honest with you. But I got a player prop. It is Joel Embiid, over 18.5 points, -110 on DraftKings, half unit play. I mean, this is too low for Embiid. I know he's on a minutes restriction, so let's talk about the big man. His minutes are slowly going up. He did play 25 minutes last game. I expect around 25 minutes again after 3 days of rest that he has now. This season, he did nothing in the first game. He looked just like he's never played a game in forever. But after that, he scored 20, 25, and 20 points. That's 65 points he scored in 68.2 minutes. So we're talking a point a minute here. If he gets 25 minutes, 19 is not asking much. He's taken 11, 17, and 13 field goal attempts the last 3 games, shooting 40% from deep so far. He's a guy who scores in bunches, and when he's out there, he knows he's playing limited minutes. He gets aggressive, and that's what you want to see here. Facing the Bulls, my goodness, has he dominated Vucevic in his career. Last 2 games versus Vuce and the Bulls scored a total of 71 points in 70 minutes. Again, 1 point per minute there. Vuce is not exactly the lockdown defender that can even come close to stopping him in the paint, at the three-point line, wherever it is. But Joel Embiid should have an easy day in the paint because the Bulls have given up the most points in the paint this season. Embiid should score at will, maybe get some putbacks, things like that. But other centers versus the Bulls, how about Cat? Scored 20 plus in both games. Sabonis 18, Okongwu had 18, Porzingis 27. We know Embiid is a guy who can score all levels of the court. I think this line's too low, even with the minutes restriction. I mean, if he goes all the way down from 25 minutes to 17 or 18, I mean, maybe it's a little tighter. He could still get it there. I just don't see that happening. Again, 3 days of rest. He just played 25. So give me 23, 25 minutes. Should be plenty enough to get to 19 points. So give me Joel Embiid over 18.5 points as my first best bet. All right, this next one takes us out to the ATL where the Hawks host the Orlando Magic. Magic minus 4.5 total. And this one is 229.5. I'm taking the total. Who wants to be done with me again? Let's go under. Under 229.5, minus 110 on FanDuel for a half unit. Under when all games seem to be flying over. What a smart decision by me. But let's break this down. Let's talk the Hawks first. Still no Trae Young. They play a little bit slower without him. Obviously worse offensively, and they're better defensively. But this team has faced overall this year 3 good defenses. Orlando Magic, who they're facing now, OKC Thunder, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The totals in those games were 218, 217, and 226. Under in all 3. Trae was playing in 2 of those 3 games as well. In that game versus Orlando, it was a big-time half-court game. Only 33 total fast break points scored. Both teams only shot around 33-point attempts, and they didn't shoot very well because that's what these defenses do. Magic, they can struggle offensively at times, which is great for an under, obviously, but they've shown flashes of their dominant defense that we've expected. It was a rough start to the year. We're thinking, what is going on? But that first game against the Miami Heat when they were running up and down the court, they were just not ready for it. But the last 2 games, I know they were against the Wizards and Hornets, but still hold them to 94 and 107, and both on the road. Hornets have been a good offensive team, actually. Orlando allows the fewest 3-point attempts in the NBA. So when I was talking earlier about their matchup last time, and the Hawks only shot around 33 3-point attempts, it's because Orlando does a great job at limiting it. They limit that and the fast break points. Now you got no Trae Young. I just don't see the Atlanta Hawks scoring a ton of points here. And then the Hawks defense, like I said, better without Trae Young. Good offensive player, not cutting it on a defense. Held the Pacers to 108 and Cavs to 117 last 2 games. And even that 117 of the Cavs, they only had 78 points after 3 quarters. That was in Cleveland. They had a huge 39-point fourth quarter to get to 117. But Hawks have allowed the 3rd lowest 3-point percentage to their opponents. So again, I think both teams are going to struggle shooting from beyond the arc. And when you're not hitting a ton of threes, obviously it's easier to go under a total. I see more of the same as what we saw earlier. Not a lot of turnovers, not a lot of fast break points. Both teams kind of struggling to get good looks from deep, hitting consistently. A little bit slower pace without Trae in this one as well. So I like the under 229.5. That is my second final best bet on the video. Only 6 games right now. And guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. We got games like the Hornets and Pelicans where LaMelo Ball and Zion are both questionable to play. Small slate. I'm not going to force another player prop the night before. Let's see how the injury report kind of shakes out and go from there. But I'll have at least one added play. It'll be in the pinned comments below on X, Discord, the website, all that kind of stuff. So that's what we got for this one. Before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. My 2 best bets. Joel Embiid, the big man, over 18.5 points for a half unit, and the under 229.5 in the Hawks and Magic game at minus 110 for a half unit. Let's get on a little bit of a roll. Nice 2-in-1 day on Monday. Hopefully we can have another good one on Tuesday. But thank you guys for listening, as always. Really appreciate the support. Hope you guys have a great Tuesday, and we'll talk to you soon.